Panentheism. Why is panentheism a paradigm shift for Theosophy? And why is this paradigm shift important for the advancement of the human species? Pantheism, as espoused by Blavatsky and others in the last half of the 20th century, explained that all was God. God has consciousness, knowing, by definition. And so it was that pantheism led Theosophy, the followers of Theosophy, the Theosophical thinkers, and humankind to perceive or think or understand in their own limited way that all was God, and therefore all had consciousness, and therefore all was alive. Panentheism moves Theosophy forward, theosophical thinking, and human evolutionary development in terms of understanding reality into understanding the rationality that all may be inside God, inside consciousness, but all that exists may not have consciousness. And even though some items, some particulars of reality may not have consciousness, it still remains inside God. That is extremely important in terms of keeping up with and advancing scientific theories, because it's hard for scientists to grasp the concept that a chair is alive and a chair has its own form of consciousness, when in fact we have evolved to the point where it is irrational to embrace the concept that a chair has consciousness. Therefore, an advanced understanding of reality must account for non-conscious entities. And panentheism does just that. It says there can be non-conscious entities. However, if there are, they still are within the Supreme Being. Having said that, panentheism also leads to a complete understanding regarding the three fundamentals of Theosophy. One, there is a Supreme Being. Two, that individual entities of consciousness, such as you and I, our true essence, not our bodily form, our true essence, is a spark, an offshoot, a part, if you will, of the Supreme Being. And since we call the Supreme Being divine, you and I, by definition, would be divine. which changes our whole outlook, our whole perception, our whole philosophical dialectic and rationality regarding the significance of the individual. The individual now is not only significant, but is significant because it is divine, because it is godlike, because it is an offshoot of God. As the Bible says, God created man in his image, and in the image of God created he man. And we'll speak more of that later. So, first, Panentheism helps us understand the one supreme being and how all can be one. Secondly, it helps us understand the significance of the individual. And the third substantial fundamental of Theosophy is the work. In other words, Panentheism helps us understand why it is important to orient oneself around the work. Projects that advance humankind and improve upon the environment within which humankind, divine beings, exist, and why those projects supersede materialism and in fact rise to the level of divine